Okay, we're out here in Akron and we've got a old stucco building that needs to be addressed for siding. So they paint the stucco quite often, and there's some spots particularly where there's been water getting behind it and it flakes off. So what we're going to do is we're going to address the gutters, get rid of these seam gutters, upper and lower, and then we're going to give them an option for gutter helmet with helmet heat on the lower. We can option the wire alone in a serpentine style, but we're going to recommend the helmet heat. And we've got a chimney here. We're looking at wrapping that chimney probably with a hardy board wrap and a metal cap to make there. And then the only thing we don't know is what we have if we got a chimney saddle up top, and it does not look like we do. So we're going to have to cut into the roof and build ourselves a little diverter for that, so it isn't leaking and water can be shed on each side of the chimney. So we're going to take the gutters, there's seam gutters up there, get rid of those so we don't have to worry about that. We'll inspect, when we got the gutters off, we'll look at the possibility of sealing the roof edge to keep the ice from coming in, or the water from coming in behind the gutters. But if it is crawling up behind the shingles, that's going to be an issue. I did a core sample here, or a core drill. So this stucco is over top of probably a 1/4 inch rock board, and then the rock board, or actually a 1/2 inch rock board, and then there's wood back there. So we've got 1 inch to 1.5 inches before we hit wood. So if we use 3/4 inch furrings vertically, 16 inches on center, we're gonna have to be, we'll have 1.25 inches before we hit wood. So we're gonna have to go with 2.5 inch screws, 2.5 inch Tapcons. Things like this we got to look at, where these windowsills, even though they're all trimmed, this windowsill here is actually kind of tilted back towards the house, and we want to make sure that if we have to retrim them, we want to. The power source for the helmet heat on here, they've got a box right up over here, so we're going to have to set a separate pricing apart for a power source, or to be supplied by owner. But if we need a dedicated 20 amp for 110, and if we go 220, same thing, but that's a lot of footage, so we may not be able to run a 110 or 120. We may have to do a 240. That's what I'm trying to say. And then we'll check to make sure all of the vents and everything are there. The customer can, we're gonna have to take these lights off and block it off, and if the lights are good, we'll put them back on. If they got new ones they want to use, we'll do that. Down at the bottom edge where the driveway meets, because this has a bit of an incline, so we're going to end up running a nice thick 027 coil with a little bit of a flash out, and then we'll take and step our siding down. We'll come out like, 15 feet, give ourselves maybe no more than an 8 inch aluminum stock on both sides. The garage door, we're going to have to do, we're going to have to take in fur, block and fur around it. We're going to plan on trimming this one around. So we're going to have to bring some furring in here, because we're going to bring this all out 3/4, because this side is going to be 3/4, and then we can go ahead and trim this out with aluminum so it's maintenance free, and get them some blocking for the lights and that. Okay. Most everything that's hanging out of the building is working. We are given an option for roofing these bottom aprons. There's been some problems there. When we do roof them, we're going to obviously, in this case here, we're going to make sure that we get the ice shield system wrapped down into these gutters, so he doesn't have an issue with water coming in behind these gutters at all. At least not from the what am I trying to say? The underlayment. Okay, we'll go through and get the spaghetti of wires out apart there, and looks like the building's had ice problems for a while. So we're gonna, the way I understand it, we're gonna replace this gutter on the upper too, but we're not doing anything with the helmet heat. Look at the possibility of sealing that off to the roof edge when we got that off, and then definitely redoing this roof and apron flashing on these 2 lower wings. Okay, the siding's gonna stop at the stone. And then it's all going to be a white vinyl, and we're going to end up obviously building out at these, all the windows and everything, and the siding's going to be built out where the windows will be a little bit recessed, and then those all get sealed off with geosil. And we gotta look at, you know, places like that where that downspout delivers into that lower gutter. It's an obstacle, and that water has a long way to go. So, you know, those are things that that we have to deal with. This might need to be a 6-inch gutter on these lower aprons too. 6-inch gutter with 3x4 spouts over there. Matter of fact, that's a necessity with all this roof area going into there. Okay, on the front, we're going to keep all the freeze board, so we're going to butt up to it, so none of the freeze board's getting redone or touched. None of the overhangs are getting done or retouched. We'll go through and try to, you know, replace some of these damaged strap hangers from the gutters that are sticking up. Give him the option if he wants to come in and maybe do this dormer in a different color, maybe something closer to a color to match his stone here, or we can actually provide a product that almost looks like a stone, similar to it, to just kind of give that match up there. But the building has got its own apron flashing, so our siding is actually, it should, when we fur it out, it's just going to drape over that apron flashing a little bit. I want to keep at least an inch of that flashing showing on the roof. Okay. No soffits or overhangs on the entire building is needed. But you can see the pitch on the driveway here, so we're going to end up coming across. We do have an issue with a lot of water coming here. It would be a bad idea if we figure out some way to change this direction of water, but I guess we can't. They're limited, so. Oh, we got a dormer on this side also. So there's an upper dormer over here. Have to make sure there isn't one on the other side. There's an upper chimney that looks pretty rough. So this apron roof is getting done with that chimney getting rewrapped. So pretty decent project. It'd be a real nice one to get started off in the spring before we start getting too busy and material pricing goes up, because we've already gotten that notice. We shall see.